Alright, what is good, y'all? It's your girl Maggesty here. We're cooking up again today. Today we're taking yet another subscriber suggestion, as I always do. In one of my last videos, one of my subscribers suggested that I try dancehall, reggaeton, whatever you want to call it. And it turned out really fire. This was actually a beat that I made like at least a year ago, if not more than that. But I ended up like kind of saucing it up a little more now that I have more experience, more knowledge, and like a different perspective now that I'm like actually an artist. So we added like some more melodies to it, made it a little wavier, and I actually really like it. I wasn't too crazy about it when I first made it, and I distinctly remember not being too crazy about it. But now that I'm like, I guess, more intentional about what I do with my beats, for one, my process is a lot faster, and two, the end result is better. So anyways, I hope you guys learned something from this video. Don't forget to drop a like if the beat turns out fire, subscribe to your girl if you learned anything from me, and stream all my music on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, whatever it is you have. I guarantee it might make you cry, so bring some tissues. Anyways, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Alright, I'm gonna walk you through this beat that I made. I did just add something to it because, I don't know, I kind of felt like it was missing a little something. Even when I made it, I think that's part of the reason why I didn't do much with it, is because I felt like it was still missing a little something. So I kind of played around, and like now that I'm like a more experienced producer slash artist, I'm like more intentional with my melodies, I guess. So it was like real easy to come up with a little something to add. But I'll show you what I had first, and then I'll kind of walk you through the process as to how I got the melody that I just made and just how I made the beat in general. So I'm gonna quit talking. I'll let you hear the first little bit here. Alright, so it started with these chords. With dancehall, you really want like some sort of like rhythmic kind of pattern, and with this, it's like, obviously, as you can just see without even hearing it, you can tell this is open. It's got like some reverb, but there's a lot of space in between these notes, you know? And these kind of beats are more drum heavy. So, I guess a tip for this would be, you know, find a melody that's good, but not too much. Like, you want it to sound, almost a little bit empty. You want this to have a lot of layers and, like I said, be drum heavy. So this with the bass, doesn't sound too empty to the point where it's like whack, but like when the drums come in and everything is not like overwhelming, I guess. So that was the thought process behind this. And your sound selection is going to be really important because you want it, I mean, I guess it depends on your vibe. Like if you want to make like a sad dancehall beat, I guess you can. But this is supposed to be kind of happy, kind of a vibe, you know, so I picked like a really cute pluck and then obviously added some reverb. Like, you know, this just sounds hopeful. And even though it's in a minor key, sounds real cute, you know? That was what I was going for. And then, like I said, like with that just by itself would sound a little bit empty, but with the bass and this little intro, it's alright. And the bass line in a dancehall beat is going to be real important. A lot of them have this like triplet kind of bounce, and I like it, so I decided to roll with it. But then you can kind of experiment within this second and fourth bar here, or the sixth and the eighth, whatever, if you want to make it really intricate. But like it doesn't have to be the triplet all throughout, like you can see. Like that might get too boring. I want to give it a little different bounce here. And these notes are just following the main chords. Nothing too crazy, you know? And then here we have this other element coming in. This is just a little pad that's layered with the chords, but only hitting on the downbeats here. just to fill things out, and also just like some ear candy. And then there's a lot of like reverb on that, so it kind of rings out a little bit. Alright, so that part is out of the way here. And now I'm going to show you this first little chorus section, I guess. And we'll break down the drums, and then I'll also break down this area right here, which I just added, which is another melodic kind of element. But anyways, here it goes. So we're just gonna loop this for a little bit. The first part is obviously the snare, and it's gonna have that like kind of rhythm like dancehall does. So instead of like a normal beat where it would hit like here, obviously it's a little offset, so you could see right here. And even just like that by itself with the melody, that'll get your head nodding, you know? Like, oof. And sound selection here is also going to be kind of important. You definitely don't want to be using a clap or anything. You want it to be like a sharp snare. That's kind of like low-key a trap snare, which could work. I mean, it obviously works in this context, but you could use like pop drum sounds as well, and it'd probably sound good. And then we'll move on to the kick here, which is just going to be 4 on the floor right here. You could, you know, experiment, throw a little extra sauce in there if you want to, but I wanted this to be kind of standard. Oh, and also, I don't know if I mentioned, but you want the BPM to be kind of slow for these kind of beats. Like any dance beat, any like club kind of beat is going to be in like the 90s, low hundreds. You know what I mean? So, and then basically the kick and the snare is going to be like the bread and butter for this whole beat. That's the main groove throughout, and the rest of the drum elements are just going to be to make it interesting, because like just this, it's going to sound like every other dancehall beat ever. So, you know, you kind of want to use the other drum elements to like express your own kind of sound. Also, I'm gonna get rid of that VST because I don't actually have it, and it'd be like cutting out and like making static. So I already like bounced out the melody. If y'all don't know that, by the way, that little trick, that's some secret sauce. If you like have VSTs that you have like a trial version for. But anyways, so let's get into the hi-hats here. Obviously this is very basic. This is just ear candy, kind of like on top of the kick. It's probably not going to be in it like all throughout. Like I could probably take it out here and here and like, you know, make things sound a little bit different. This is a perk. This is just like it's like a stick hit. You know what I mean? Very subtle. And then I have an open hat that just hits on the downbeat. And then there's another hi-hat pattern that comes in here. Oh, dead. Is this it? Well, you know, apparently old Maggie wanted to keep it simple. Okay, that sounds kind of wavy though. I'll turn it up a little bit. Yeah, sounds good. So anyways, that's the drums. They're relatively simple, but like they take up a lot of space. Like this kind of snare pattern and the 4 on the floor, it takes up a lot of space. So you want to kind of consider that in terms of the other elements of the beat. And then for this is just like a flute, like a pan flute, or actually I think technically it's a piccolo. And I just made this little melody, and like kind of like what I touched on earlier about me like learning a little bit more about music production and stuff and being an artist, I can kind of like listen to a beat that's not finished, or even a beat that is finished, and like from my new artist perspective, I could like hum a little counter melody or whatever, and then I normally just kind of go with whatever like first pops into my head. I'll be like listening to it, and then this melody came in. I figured since I guess this wasn't like a conscious thought, but it's something that I do naturally now, where if another melody, like the main melody here, is really spacious, you don't want the other melody to be spacious. You would want it to be kind of like equal and opposite. So like I made these notes in this little flute melody really drawn out, and like as you can hear, like they last a while, and they're like there's little like rolls, I guess you could say, like so this melody just kind of popped into my head as I was like grooving to it, and I actually played this melody out like with my little keyboard. So that's a major key in terms of like being intentional with your melodies. You want to just kind of like once you got the bones of the beat down, and you want to add some extra sauce like that, you want to just like kind of let it loop, and just like let yourself hum along or whatever, try to find a counter melody, and then like translate it with the piano. Or if you don't play piano, you could just like make the length of the notes what you want, and then play around with the actual like notes later. But anyways, so that's how I made that. And then I decided to switch it up right here into this next section of the chorus here. So I'll let you hear it from like here. So, as you can hear, that's kind of a dramatic switch. It is the same melody. I just put a gate on it. I think it's right here. Yeah, I just played around with these presets in Fruity Love Filter and high pass into low pass. And then I added this little crash so that like it kind of signals that like something different is coming. So it's not just like an abrupt change from like the long melody that kind of flows already, because like without this crash, this would be like a very unexpected change, so like little things like that like make the arrangement just that much better. And then since this melody is kind of like a lot like ear-catching, I faded it out here so that when it goes back into this basic melody, it's not so abrupt. I'll let you hear that without me talking. See, so it's just, more seamless than if I were to just like, not have that and leave it at the volume it was. Little details like that are definitely gonna level up your beats for sure. And I just kind of want this little flute to be like subtle, so I've been like low-key turning the volume down just as I see fit. Alright, sounds good. But I think that's pretty much it, y'all. This beat is very simple. But simple beats are good as long as you take care of the arrangement, and be intentional about what you're adding. But I actually really like this beat. I totally forgot about it, like I kind of said. But it's kind of fire now that I added this stuff. Who knows? I might hop on it. I don't really know how to like approach a dancehall beat as an artist yet though, but you know, experimentation, that's just something every artist has to go through. Maybe I'll try it. But yeah, I dig it. But yeah, let me know if you guys dig it down below. Don't forget to like the video if this beat turns out fire. Subscribe to Girl if you learned anything from me. And don't forget to stream my music on Spotify, Apple Music, all platforms basically. And I would really appreciate it. And I'll catch you all in the next video.